So I hope that answered your question.
Yeah, look, you know what? It's really interesting. I can't remember where I heard it, but I think it was actually about relationships and how in like personal relationships there is a building of trust, and that if one of the two people in that relationship uses, I actually think it was Tom Bilyeu that I was listening to, and he talked about how I think he'd been with his wife for like 19 years, and that fortunately she never had, but he has obviously over that time been extremely vulnerable with her, and if they ever fought or were going to separate, there would be all this emotional ammunition that she could use to like break him emotionally.
Yeah.
And that as soon as that happens, which does happen in relationships at times when people are arguing and fighting, where they would use that as like a strategy to hurt the other person, to show them how much they've been hurt, that like that trust is almost impossible to get back.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that from an employer standpoint, that you can do all these things to build this trust. And I think, again, it's also really important that if you're laying 1,000 people off, it's going to be really hard to do that in a way where you can have a personal conversation with everybody, and that you're going to do that first before you remove the technology access from people. Like, I know everybody wants this like really great send off, and it's not always possible.
Mm-hmm.
And I get, we maybe saw that like the crying CEO year, or I don't know if it was months or years ago, that went viral, where it was like, we get that you're upset, but if you were really that upset, there's all these other things you could have done.
Yeah.
But I think the way that you exit people will be a direct message to everybody internally that you're either staying true to how you've said you're going to operate, or you're not. And that, again, this is a business for all of them that are for profit, that are, private or public, that aren't, say, government, and that aren't, say, nonprofits or whatever they may be. Like, this is the thing that can happen. But I think, again, you send a message to your people on how people leave and how you view or support or handle that transition. And I think if you don't do it in, I don't know if the right way or the best way,
compassionate way, do it in a compassionate,
you are going to send a message whether you want to or not. And sure, maybe if it's years down the road, but for the next days, weeks, months, maybe even years, you will not be able to shake that stigma, or that feeling that like, I'm not going to be open with Brent about the fact that I'm interested in potentially, exploring something externally, because the last time someone did that, they got let go that day, and it totally negatively impacted them. And then I'm going like, well, what? I can't believe you just gave me 2 weeks unexpected notice. Like, that's crazy, like, and I think again, knowing turnover is such like a crazy, impactful thing that can affect businesses, that it's just a huge piece that we need to be aware of, and how, like you said, how you run that life cycle directly relates into everything. And for me, tying it all back, I mean, that goes directly into your pillar one: vision, mission, culture, like how you show up in the beginning. You can't just say that you want to do those things and then not do all the stuff that you're talking about on the back end.
Yeah,
They
that's right.
They can't coexist if you're not.